ask me how I know. Sell your truck while
It's Scotty Lovett with Integrity Mortgage, and
I'm Jody Kennedy with Century 21 Judge Fight.
And we're excited. This is our now second video that we're doing, and this is going to be just an opportunity for us to try to educate you guys on some different things that we see. And these aren't going to be super long videos, but it's just good information. We're going to try to start posting twice a week, so we'd love to have you guys commenting, giving feedback on things that maybe we're not talking about that you'd like to hear. So
yeah, and like and subscribe our YouTube.
Yep,
so.
Please. And so I wanted to bring it up with Jody. She just had something really exciting happen, and I wanted to let you kind of talk about what just happened this last week.
Yeah, so thanks to you, I was nominated for the YMCA board. There's 28 board members, right?
Correct.
And so they just added 2 new ones, me being one. So Scotty and I are really excited about that.
Yeah.
We want to start bringing a financial wellness package to the Y members, and also just the community in general. So we'll be talking about that in the near future.
Yep. So, and we'll post some more information about it. We're still in I don't want to call it the infancy stage, but putting together the panel.
Toddler stage.
Toddler stage. Yeah, we're
still in diapers.
Yeah, we're just learning how to crawl.
Yeah.
So, but we're gonna be putting together this panel, and we'd love to continue to share information as this comes together and get you guys to come out and attend it.
See us at the Y.
Yeah. So, do you want to go ahead and kind of break into the topic that is at hand today?
Yeah. So, foreclosure is a sensitive subject for clients, and I want to educate you on the process, so that if you get into a situation where your home is foreclosed on, which things happen, life happens,
Yep.
and there's always a way to come out of it on top. And that's why I have Scotty here, because he's very knowledgeable on ways to improve credit, which we'll talk about in our next video. But for today, I just wanted to talk about what are the timelines that you have to wait before you can apply for a new mortgage after a foreclosure.
Yeah, so there are multiple loan programs that are out there. As everybody's aware of, there's different requirements for each of these loan programs that are there. So like a conventional loan program does require about 7 years of a waiting period before you can actually go and buy another property.
Why is it so long for conventional?
Just because conventional is not backed by the government. So like an FHA, a VA, USDA, those are actually government-backed loans. So if in the case of another default on a loan that led to another foreclosure, the government's actually protecting us by stepping in and helping us as the lender. So they're actually, by doing so, it shortens the time frame on why they require, versus a conventional loan, it's all on us, versus the government stepping in and helping us out. So I know that might sound kind of crazy, but whenever you're thinking about buying a house with FHA or USDA or VA, they have all these additional funding fees that a conventional loan doesn't have. And so they're utilizing those funds through those funding fees that they're charging each borrower that goes through them. And that's how they're able to give back to the community, to allow people maybe with lower credit scores, or in this case, what we're talking about today, foreclosures, it allows for them to be able to give loans back. So the major difference is conventional is a 7-year waiting period, but FHA, USDA, and VA loans only require a 3-year waiting period. So
one interesting thing I was reading about VA loans is you can actually get qualified after 2 years.
Okay.
If the loan you foreclosed on wasn't VA.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So see, even a lender that I feel like I've seen all the scenarios. There are things.
Sometimes I'm just smarter.
Just kidding. Hey, that's most people with me. So
no, not at all. Yeah. So I mean, not that anybody should ever, if you can qualify for a VA loan.
Yeah.
Initially, that's a great loan to go for. So I'm not sure why.
Yeah, so I mean, because sometimes people are in situations where maybe they can't qualify for a VA loan because maybe they've got future income, and the only way to do that is a conventional loan. So,
Okay.
so there are scenarios where even though somebody might qualify for one of these other government programs like a VA or USDA, they might choose to go with a conventional option because maybe the underwriting requirements are less stringent.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, for sure. VA is a lot stricter.
Yes. So, I mean, and that's part of the process when we're working together with our clients is figuring out, okay, what is your income situation? Are you active military? Are you out of the military? How are you getting paid? And when we start evaluating all those things, it allows for me to determine, okay, this is going to be a better fit for the client. So, that's why sometimes conventional will go to, or a VA will go to a conventional, or a FHA. If a client actually does qualify for a conventional, we'd prefer to go conventional because the underwriting requirements are less stringent. So now there are extenuating circumstances on foreclosures, and
yeah. So like, and I know that it's difficult to have the duration shortened, but what are some scenarios that would, qualify basically as extenuating circumstances for the underwriter?
So, in extenuating circumstances, truly what it sounds like, it's something that's outside of your control. So, that would be truly a loss of job. And it's not due to you just saying, I'm no longer working at whatever company it is. It's truly that you lost your job. And people can understand this right now with COVID going on. It wasn't their choice, but COVID happened, and now they're having to deal with the repercussions. So, a loss of income that is greater than 20% of what you were making would be potentially a reason that you could have that duration shortened. Another thing would be a death or illness. And of course, again, that's just life circumstances that none of us have control over. And unfortunately, it does happen to all of us. It is something that we all have to deal with. But as a lender, we can help our clients figure out, okay, well, what is that duration? Are you almost there? If not, but it is something where just because you have one of these things happen, you still need to speak to a lender to determine if that extenuating circumstances is going to actually qualify you to be able to shorten that period. It's not a guarantee.
On like death or illness, is that just one of the, like, say there's two borrowers and one dies and the one borrower is still alive. Will they look at that? Or?
They will, because ultimately, if let's say you got qualified to buy that house with both the incomes, and now all of a sudden you just have one of those incomes disappear, and you can't make your payments as a result of that, that is an extenuating circumstance, because it wasn't that you planned on losing that job, it's just because of through death, now that income for the household is no longer there. So,
and then in your experience, what is the shortest times after a foreclosure that you've been able to get somebody a loan?
I mean, so up to this point, because luckily I got into the business right after 2008, 2009. So everybody was coming out on the other side of this. So when I truly started getting to lend, people had already started meeting those year requirements. So I've never actually had to try to speed it up. But again, since we have underwriting in-house, my underwriter, I can walk into his office and say, here's the scenario. Is this a thumbs up or a thumbs down? And then I can actually give the client feedback instantaneous almost, because it's not that I'm having to go find an underwriter in another state. They're here locally. And so I walk into the office, tell them, hey, here's what it is. And if not, then I'm going to go back, and even though it's a no, that doesn't mean that you can't qualify down the road. And I'm going to make sure that I give you all the advice that you need. And then at that point, you are educated to make the best decision for you or your family or whatever it might be.
Yeah, so we'll wrap this up soon. Yeah. But one thing I wanted to say is one reason that you really need to trust your lender is because your lender is going to look at everything, skeletons in the closet from a financial standpoint. So you really need to make sure that your lender, you trust them.
Yep.
They're always available for you. I mean, you just really have to have a good partnership with them. So that's one thing that Scotty and I try to offer, and we love to do it. So.
Yeah, Well, give us a call. We're going to be posting our contact information after the video. So if you need anything, you know where to find us.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. See
you
ya.
next time.